get me off, Tiffany.
Um, hey, bookmates. We thought we would just pop on real quick and introduce ourselves because we're realizing now that our first episode has come out that we didn't actually do that, mostly because we weren't actually planning on making a podcast in the first place when it
No,
happened.
no,
So
we were not. Tiffany and I were already recording, or we weren't really recording, but we were already doing book club. And we had this fun experience where we decided to get on Skype and do it. And this pastor that we knew wrote a book
from our
from our childhood days. And we
childhood
decided, oh my
days.
gosh, let's read this out loud to each other. And we had such a good time.
It was one of the funnest times
Record all of our book clubs. Let's just record all of them.
Yeah, so that's how Lita and I met back in the day. We were 12 years old and became Insta friends. We met at church, and one of the pastors from that church wrote a book, and we had to get on there to make fun of it. So, and Lita had over.
Disappoint.
It was a really good time. And because we don't live in the same state anymore. I'm in Utah and Lita is in Indiana, so whenever we hop on, we're always Skyping anyway. And that's just like a fun thing that we do
met in North Carolina when we were kids. Both of our parents randomly moved there.
Yep.
And we just met at church. I actually even remember the moment I met you.
I remember that too.
Yeah, it was so fun. Like we were in a youth group.
Yep.
And somebody introduced her to me. Was it Heather?
I think it was Heather, yeah.
Yeah, she was like, "Hi," and she's new, and we're all kind of still friends too. I don't talk to Heather so much anymore, but we are.
Oh yeah, Heather and I are really close.
Yeah, so we're all connected still on some level, but
yeah, it was one of those.
It was instant.
It was Step Brothers. Like, did we just become best friends? Yup. And 25 years later, here we are, still.
Yeah, it was
still best friends.
It was pretty instant. And then she ended up living right around the corner from me.
Yeah.
Which was really weird because the church we were going to was pretty far away from our house. Wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
We were in Hendersonville.
Yeah.
And then we just never stopped being friends. Well, we had fights and stuff about stupid stuff.
As everybody does, but our friendship has lasted longer than a lot of marriages, so I feel like we're doing pretty good. And we always loved reading and books. That was always something. Do you know what I thought about the other day? Do you remember when we were each other's audiobooks and we would read to each other while we were doing crafts?
Yeah, I remember that we used to sit on those bunk beds in your bedroom, and one of us would do latch hook while the other one read Gone with the Wind out loud.
And we would take turns, and then we're like, okay, I'm done latch hooking. Like, you take over, I'll read. So we've just always... And then we've always just,
millennials. We literally did nothing but make up stories and play house and play with Barbies. We did not have all the things we have now. The most that we did was play The Sims. And Nancy Drew computer games, which
the best.
Still play.
We still play them.
We still do them. And there's a new one coming out.
I know, I'm so excited. Yes.
It looks so amazing. It's like
we have to play it when you come for your visit.
I know. We are gonna play it. I'm so excited. Nancy Drew. Is it the mystery of the 7 keys?
The 7 keys, yeah.
Like that. Oh, excited.
It's like, we will never change. We will never stop playing that. It doesn't matter how old we get.
I think they're so fun to play with someone.
Yeah, and it always just has the nostalgia factor too. And even doing this podcast now with you just kind of feels like I'm recapturing our teenage years where we just
I
hung
know.
out all day, every day, and made up stories and did creative projects together. So this is kind of on brand for us, but
We've always been recording stuff too. Like,
yeah,
would make we even made a movie, and it's over
we
an hour
did.
long.
That's true. We did.
Yes,
We did.
with all
We
the
wrote it.
kids in the youth group, and we
We somehow managed to get everyone to
did
participate.
videos. Oh, I know, right? So it is not easy to get a bunch of 14-year-olds together and read lines.
It is not. And somehow we did it. And it is like one of the best gems of things that I own now.
I know. We used to do radio shows when we were little with our Barbies.
It's
We
all
even have a
circled back.
Barbie movie that we
We
made.
do. Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We were like
Yeah. And
13.
you'll never see it.
You'll never see it.
So embarrassing.
But this is somehow so on brand for us, even though we never actually planned on doing this. It kind of just happened that way, and we were already doing book club together, and Lita had already chosen the book, and we were going to Skype, and then literally a couple hours before we were going to hop on Skype, Lita was like, what if we recorded it? And I was like, all right. So that's why we have some audio issues in our first one, because we're literally just recording it on our phones without mics or or anything
Oh, yeah.
anything like that.
Oh, and then when we did Fourth Wing, Tiffany had the equipment, but I didn't, because I brought a Chromebook instead of a laptop. Oops. By the way, once you do that and open it, you can't return it. A laptop is not a Chromebook. A Chromebook is like a laptop phone, basically. And you also cannot install any apps on it because Google hates you.
Yep.
So that's why. That's the reason.
Yeah.
So for the second episode, I just had a Chromebook, and then Iron Flame, we finally came together.
Yeah.
And
Turns out we're still figuring out that it's a little bit more complicated to do a podcast than we originally thought, but we're here for it and we're excited.
Like, this is gonna be so easy.
We'll just record ourselves. It won't.
And we don't have anybody helping us, guys. Like, everything that you see, even on our socials, all the trailers, all the
That's just
little
us.
meme videos, that's just us whipping
Just
out our
us.
teenager skills.
Who knew that all those video announcements at church skills would come in so handy nowadays?
Not me.
Not me. Anyway,
So,
that's just us in a nutshell.
yes. I also want to reiterate that Bookmates is not just Tiffany and me. Bookmates is everybody that needs a bookmate, okay?
Yes. Yes.
If you are reading the book and listening to the podcast, you're a bookmate.
Exactly. And we are thrilled to have you.
Yeah.
We will love to have you along for the ride, because if you're a reader, you know that all you want to do is discuss the book that you just finished reading. And it can be so frustrating when no one you know is reading the book that you're reading. And sometimes it can be hard to find book clubs locally.
Or when you open a podcast to listen to people talk about the book, and all they talk about is the synopsis for 45
Right? Yeah. It's like, we know we were there. Like, let's get into the nitty gritty. Like, here's a spoiler-free discussion. Like, get out of here with that.
And also, we are just so everybody knows, we're very inclusive. We are just going to talk like it's just us, always.
Yeah.
And welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome to the weirdness of us.
Sorry, not sorry.
Tiffany has been hounding me for 3 months to do this, so there you go, everybody.
Well, we have to introduce ourselves to the people. Nice to meet you, Paul.
You're cracking me up.
You're cracking me up.
Ciao.